Hey, I'm Jen Marsala, and I play Riley. Riley is fantastic, I think. She's this smart, interesting woman who works in intelligence but still has maintained sort of a vulnerability that I find really interesting, and a sense of humor that I would hope if I was in high pressure situations I would still manage to be able to have. I think it's kind of remarkable. That's probably my favorite thing about her. Also, she's the only one in the office who can work the coffee machine, so it's pretty useful. There's a few teams we work together. So there's the team in the ODNI, and that's the intelligence gathering team. And so Riley gathers intelligence, helps make tough decisions. I think of it like this sort of situation room in the White House. So you have a bunch of intelligent people sort of pitching what they think they should do, and ultimately Christina Hart sort of makes the decisions, and the team on the ground acts on the intelligence. And hopefully one day soon we'll see Riley in action in the field, like a weapon. But for now, she's a very good typist. It's the origin story of Bryan Mills. And I think the interesting thing about the movies is that you see him 20 or 30 years later, but how did he become that person? And I think this takes him in in the formation of who that person is, and also the people who are around him that help him develop that particular set of skills. So it really is about him being a part of the thing that we sort of see him, having consequences from later. I think when Bryan joins the team, it's probably different for all of us. I think the guys who've been there and actually sort of are part of getting him on the team have a harder time. There's that alpha male, and how is that gonna play out? I think for the members of the team in the ODNI, I always feel like for Riley, she is rooting for Bryan. But they have a sort of similarity, which is that they've both suffered a loss and do this work because of the loss. And so for Riley, I feel like I really root for Bryan, and I'm happy he's part of the team. The ODNI is the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. It is it's an intelligence agency, so it's like the FBI, the CIA, except it has one more letter. That's it. This is the only difference. It's actually the organization that oversees all of the other intelligence agencies and sort of makes them communicate with each other. And so you'll often see us acting on intelligence that the FBI brought to us or the CIA brought to us. And we sort of compile all that information and make sure that everyone's communicating with each other. So Christina Hart is the head of the ODNI, and she is our boss, and just fiercely intelligent and able to sort of get to the heart of the matter and make really tough decisions that I don't think anybody wants to have to make, those calls that people don't want to put themselves in the position of having to make, and she does it. And I think she also has sort of a soft side that I think a few of the members of the team get to see, which makes her really interesting. Jennifer is so good. She's just so interesting to watch, and working with her in scenes, I find that I'm always fascinated by the choices that she makes, and she brings a really quiet strength to that character. And I think oftentimes a person of leadership, you think you have to shout, but she doesn't do that. And I just feel like her approach to it is very calculating in a way that makes it so interesting to play with. I'm most excited for them to see the pilot because I think it brings the Bryan Mills story back to an emotional foundation, and that's not something that you always see in something that's an action-adventure show or movie. And I think that for me, that's the story that I'm excited about being a part of, is who is this person and why does he do the things that he does, and who are the people around him that help him do that. Every week there is a different mission, if you will. So we'll be going into different parts of the government. I mean, it's a show about essentially national security, right? So how do you keep America safe? But there are some aspects of it that they are serialized throughout. So Brian's relationship with Asha and the relationships of the characters with each other. And I think that, for me, is what the emotional heart of the story is. But certainly, there's kick-ass action in every single episode, which is, so it's good. There's something for everybody, I think. I think to be a part of the team, you have to obviously be really intelligent. You have to have the ability to reason very quickly. I think you have to have the ability to operate on no sleep at all times, and also a flexibility of thought that allows you to, like, there's intelligence coming in at all times, and you need to know what's actionable. And we're basically in the ODNI dealing with sending a team on the ground into dangerous situations. And so we have to always be able to really make snap judgments that we have to stand by whatever the results are.